All right, let's talk about something that's really shaking public trust in the system right now. President Bola Tinubu has reportedly granted presidential pardons to several convicted criminals, including individuals involved in drug trafficking, kidnapping, murder, and high level corruption cases. Now, this isn't just another government headline. It's a decision that's raising very deep questions about justice, morality, and hypocrisy in Nigeria's leadership. And the loudest voice so far, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who is come out swinging, calling this pardon a moral and constitutional failure that undermines justice and rewards criminality. But here is the real punch in all of this. While convicted drug traffickers, even a recently convicted female murderer, are being set free, one man, Nnamdi Kanu, remains locked up year after year without a final resolution to his case. So this morning, we're asking a very uncomfortable question. What message does this send to Nigerians and to the world when murderers walk free, but political agitators remain behind bars? First, let's break it down. The power of presidential pardon, or prerogative of mercy, as the Constitution calls it, is perfectly legal. It's designed to correct injustice, show compassion, and sometimes to heal national wounds. But when this power becomes a political tool, when it's used not to heal, but to shield, then mercy turns into mockery. Atiku Abubakar put it bluntly. He said, the pardon should uplift humanity, not reward individuals whose actions have plunged the nation into insecurity, drug abuse, and corruption. He's right, isn't he? Because when you pardon people convicted of the very crimes the country is still bleeding from, you are not promoting mercy, you are promoting impunity. Now let's talk about this drug angle because it's big. Atiku Abubakar mentioned that almost 30% of those pardoned were involved in drug-related crimes. Now pause. Think about this. At a time when Nigerians youth are battling addiction and when NDLEA is fighting tooth and nail against drug cartels, the presidency decides to pardon drug traffickers. What message does that send to the young people watching from the streets of Lagos, Kano, or Port Harcourt, many of whom have lost their friends to drug or police raids? It tells them crime pays. Just do it under the right connections. And to the NDLEA officers risking their lives, chasing traffickers across borders, this move feels like a slap in the face. You work hard, arrest the criminals, prove your case in court, only for a political signature to undo it all in one afternoon. And it doesn't stop there. Among those pardoned is reportedly a female convicted murderer, someone who took her life, faced trial, was found guilty, and sentenced. Now, if a president wants to forgive, fine, but the people have a right to ask why this person. Was there remorse? Was there rehabilitation? Or was there just political influence and privilege? You see, mercy without justice becomes injustice itself. And when killers walk free, victims, families lose faith in the country. Because what's the point of a law if a state itself breaks it under the banner of compassion? Now let's look at the other side. The case of Nnamdi Kanu. Here is a man who's been in detention for years, charged with offenses tied to his political activism and agitation for Biafra. Not murder, not drugs, not corruption, political agitation. Whether you agree with these methods or not, Kanu's case has become a symbol of selective justice, because how do you explain a country that keeps a political detainer in jail indefinitely, yet sets free drug traffickers and convicted killers? That's not justice, it's politics in disguise. And Nigerians can see it. They may not speak loudly, but they know. It's in the frustration you hear in the market conversations, on radio talk shows, in social media comments. That sense that injustice now depends on who you know, not what you did. It's no longer about right or wrong, it's about access, and that's dangerous. This decision also affects Nigerians' international reputation. Think about it. Our country has been battling the stigma of corruption and drug-linked politics for decades. When the government pardons convicted drug traffickers, it tells the world that Nigeria isn't serious about reform. It weakens our credibility before global partners, especially those in the anti-narcotics and human rights space. And domestically, it breaks the spirit of young people, those who are trying to do right in a country that seems to reward the wrong. You study hard, obey the law, also honestly, but see people who destroyed lives getting presidential mercy. What do you tell your children about integrity then? Atiku didn't just attack Tinubu's decision, he called it a reflection of a moral decay at the heart of his administration. That's very heavy, but many Nigerians would agree, because pardon is supposed to be about repentance, not relationships. If this was about justice, we would see mercy extended across the board, including to those like Nnamdi Kanu, who have been trapped in a political maze for years without resolution. Instead, what we are seeing feels like a reward system for loyalty and silence, a political game marked as compassion. At the end of the day, mercy without justice is chaos, and Nigeria right now is teetering towards dangerously close to that line. You can't build a nation on selective forgiveness. You can't claim to fight crime while freeing criminals. You can't hold some people forever without trial and call that democracy. This pardon controversy isn't just about those released, it's about what Nigerians stands for. Justice must mean something again, because when the wrong people walk free and the right ones are silenced, the whole nation becomes the prisoner. You've been listening to Newsroom Nigeria. Let's keep this conversation alive. My name remains Oluwayomi Timilola. Please drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Is Tinubu's pardon an act of mercy or moral mistake Nigeria can't afford? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.